Alright, I think the plan for today is to fully thrash, I was going to say smash, thrash arms. And that's going to include a good amount of biceps, probably a solid amount of triceps, and a little bit of side delts, probably to finish off. Today is more of a squeezing day, which means we've got controlled intensity is the name of the game. Not too much momentum, a little bit less ego lifting than normal, a little bit lighter, just more slow and controlled, really going for that mind-muscle connection. Since, after all, that is the one of the determiners for the frickin' pump. So right now, I'm chugging some fluids because I've been dehydrated all day. I literally just finished up with work. Not work, but because they don't pay me. We're going to get in there and frickin'... Let's do it. Let's freaking do it. I think the plan is pretty straightforward. I think for today, well, we don't really need to overcomplicate things. What kind of yap should we do? What kind of yap should we do after the workout? Should we talk about, we did muscle growth a little bit. We can talk about, fat loss. I can talk about fat loss for hours. I'm fantastic. But, I mean, we can talk about that later. I think right now, I did my cardio this morning. Got you. Still working on trying to find a Facebook Marketplace little bike that I can just stow in my room so I can do my cardio every morning. Because currently, I'm not going to drive 20 minutes each way to go to this gym that I actually work out at. So where I actually end up doing my cardio for the day, 24-hour fitness, it's like a 3-minute drive from my house. Might as well. They got a bike. I got a membership. Might as well do that. Why not work out there? Well, because I've had a lot of complaints in the past about filming. So, simple as that. But I did miss my creatine, not yesterday, but the day before. I realized, probably last night. Yeah, I don't recommend missing your creatine. Obviously, it doesn't really make much of a difference in the long run. Maybe if you're a science-based lifter, you're freaking trying to optimize that, you'd start crying because of it. It's really not a big deal. It takes a few weeks to load into your muscles anyways, so you really only notice the difference if you miss, days and days and days, or more like a week. If you were to miss a week of creatine, you probably see some changes from that. But I'm thinking about how things are going to work at frickin' college, because the thing is, at BU, it's a very similar story where it's like a minute-long walk away. Pepperdine is also a smaller campus, my new school, but yeah, Pepperdine has a fitness center right now. I heard they're putting in a new fitness center, a really big one. That's not going to be for another year though, so I'm stuck with the little they look like a hut. They look like teepee huts almost, or those freaking tunnels where they have tents over the tunnels, specifically for farming equipment. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know. But yeah, they kind of look pretty small, bare minimum, but should do the trick. I don't know how they feel about filming. We'll have to see. I don't know about the locker room. The BU locker room is actually trash for lighting, to actually try and film. And one time I was doing a pose down with freaking Gavin. If you go back and look at that video, that was my return. I guess you could say I took a month off or so from filming to lock in for school and stuff. But if you look at that video with Gavin, the dude at the very end, I might have cut it out, but the dude at the end, that walked past the camera was like, it's a locker room, not a posing room, guys. What the frick? And yeah, we just we didn't say a word. We just stopped and closed up the tripod and left. But in any case, I think I'm pretty excited to freaking thrash some arms. It's about 5:40 So getting to the gym pretty late, but yeah, I had a pretty busy day up until this point, so we're just going to keep the ball rolling today. Got a fantastic amount of sleep last night. Actually, beautiful sleep. Took my creatine, took my vitamins. Let's walk through a day in the life, right? Let's walk through it. So I woke up this morning. Woke up probably 8:30. Woke up 8:30. Took my creatine, vitamins. Well, actually, that's not true. I do that after I go and weigh myself. So I get up, go to the bathroom. Right after I do my business, I weigh myself, log it mentally, walk back to my bedroom, log it in my phone, log the weight, and then do creatine, vitamins. And then I'll get up, go downstairs, made some breakfast. Today was just, I think I did 5 or 6 eggs, scrambled, and like 2 ramen packs. And then I went on a walk with my grandmother because she's in town, which was really nice. Did a little beach walk, came home, took a nap, ate some more, and then I went to this internship that I'm doing for an orthopedic surgeon. Was checking out that for a little bit, for about 5 hours, I think. That's in downtown, though, so it was a bit of a drive. Came back, took a nap, ate, and we're back and going again. So, yeah. I think the goal is pretty clear at this point. Get a freaking pump. Probably just going to hit up a half a scoop of the Super Savage Pre. I used to run with the Ghost back in the day. Back when I first started lifting, I used to have Ghost a lot. But right now we're running with the Super Savage, orange mango tropical, or whatever that flavor is called. So yeah, that's the vibe. I've been yapping for a little bit too long. Let's freaking get hype. Let's get the music started and let's warm up. Well, let's not warm up, but let's get in some probably standing bicep curls.
papi, ay papi. La fama no la fama, se la pasan diciendo que soy mala, que no me aguanto drama de nada. Dime si vienes a mi cama. La fama no la fama, se la pasan diciendo que soy mala, que no me aguanto drama de nada. Dime si vienes a mi cama, a mi cama, a mi cama. Sácateme contigo, papi. Perder el control contigo, papi. Dime, yo te digo, papi. Ay, papi, ay, papi. Sácateme contigo, papi. Perder el control contigo, papi. Dime, yo te digo, papi. Ay, papi, ay, papi. Dime qué es lo que pasa. Ven a verte pa' mi casa. Chale, pero sin nada. Dime qué es lo que pasa. Yo quiero sácateme contigo, papi. Perder el control contigo, papi. Dime, yo
hands down, well, actually, hands up in the freaking air. Hands in the freaking air, man. Yoo-hoo, that was, dude, hands down, that was a good arm workout. Like, maybe, I'm hesitant to say, like, top 5. I don't know. I just get excited about these freaking workouts, man. I mean, when it comes to arms, dude, you can't really have a bad arms workout. You just go freaking harder. It's pretty hard to do bad on arm workouts, low-key. You just gotta train hard and train to failure. And I'm hydrated. I'm freaking hydrated. So that is a catalyst to a good freaking arm workout. But now I'm ready to go home, get some food, and put this video together and then go to sleep. And that is really all there is freaking to it. So right now, we have something more important to discuss, and that's losing weight. But strategically, mind you, because here's the problem. Losing weight, you can lose fat, but also lose muscle. Often you do, but you want to minimize how much muscle you lose, right? If I am just losing weight, period, I'm not hitting my protein goal, and I'm going too over on fat, well, what do you think is going to be favored when you lose weight? And it's not going to be muscle. It's going to be fat. And so what's going to happen is you will lose weight, but you'll probably end up losing more muscle than you did fat, which is not freaking ideal. So the baseline of losing weight is be in a caloric deficit. So take a week or two, eat a certain number of calories in a day that feels like it just perfectly satiates you. Preferably whole foods so that you're not eating a crap ton of calories in, like McDonald's and Burger King and that kind of stuff that's super calorically dense, but because it has no fiber, it's just really not going to fill you up, which is actually kind of the key to a caloric surplus. If you have trouble, getting food down, eating some of those high carb, low fat foods, pretty key to a clean bulk. Kind of clean, but baseline, caloric deficit, and then we get into specifics from there. So caloric deficit being at least, so what did I say? Eat a certain number of food that satiates you over the course of a couple weeks. Find the number of calories that you need to eat daily so that your weight as a trend is the same, right? It doesn't matter if your weight's going up 0.5 pounds one day and down 3 pounds the next. You probably didn't drink enough water if it's down 3 pounds, but generally, the weight trend that keeps it around the same weight over the course of a week and you're not gaining or losing weight, that's your maintenance. And then that's just straight calories, right? Calories in, calories out. Like, how many calories does your body need to burn to keep it as its current physique? Now, if you take 500 calories away from that, well, your body's going to start having to put out more than you're putting into it. So where is it going to get that extra out, right? If you're not putting in enough to maintain your current physique, then what's going to happen? Your body's going to use the remaining fat stores to draw on some of that energy. Now, here's the problem with when we get down to macros, because when you get down to fat and protein intake, if you're eating a good amount of protein and low fat, hey, that's good, because your muscles are going to be properly fulfilled. They're going to be, they're going to be satiated, and your fat stores are going to be going down, because your body's going to go, oh, we don't have enough fat that's coming into the body, so we need to use the fat that we've stored. But as far as stored fat, if you are eating a lot of fat daily, in your intake, and you're not eating a lot of protein, then guess what your body's going to favor? It's going to say, we don't have enough protein, let's steal it from the muscles. So they're going to start breaking down your muscles, and it's going to start turning that into energy, because you don't have enough protein in your system. And so that's when we freaking get into carbs, because there's another layer that goes on top of that, which is when it comes to carbs, your body's first main energy source is carbs. Now, I'm not going to get into carbs versus sugar, because there's different types of carbs. A carb is not necessarily a carb, but I will say, in simplicity, carbs are your body's first main energy source. So when it comes to working out, I always eat about 100 grams of carbs at least before my workout, about an hour before. That gives your body enough time to kind of digest it and go, okay, this is our energy source now. The reason why is because I'm not in a fat burning phase right now, right? If you want to go into a workout carb depleted, you're not going to be able to push yourself as hard because your body's going to be trying to use fat stores. You want your body to be using fat stores, because fat is harder to break down than carbs. That's why your body goes to carbs. It's just easier. So you want your body to be burning your fat stores, not during your workout, but when you're resting or when you're doing cardio or something like that. There is argument over fasted cardio versus regular cardio. I don't really see a difference when it comes to actually playing that out, at least in my life. I've tried fasted cardio consistently for a few months. I've tried it without. I noticed no difference in how I feel or, my body weight. I wasn't like able to eat more calories just because I did my cardio fasted, if that's what we're going for. But it had like no impact on me. So, what do we cover? Find your maintenance, and then take a deficit. About 500 calories should do the trick. And then we talked about macros, we talked about protein, fat, carbs. Another good reason to track your macros, I would start with tracking your protein. If you don't track your calories or macros at all, start with protein, because your body, like, literally, you're wasting time in the gym if you're not eating enough protein in a day. It's as simple as that. Track your protein. 1 gram per pound of body weight works for a cut or a bulk. It's perfect for both. Fat works for a cut or a bulk. Always keep it. I said this in my How to Build Muscle yap. Fat is always like a third of your body weight. I currently eat like 70 grams of fat per day. I think today was a little bit more. Today was like 80. When you're on a bulk, you can be a bit more lenient with it. It really depends on how strict you want to be. But yeah, that's pretty much freaking it. That's all there is to it. And also, you may not be getting enough carbs. Genuinely, your body may need more carbs than you think. So yeah, that's really it. Yap over, I guess. But not gonna take a rest day tomorrow. I'm feeling not much fatigue at all. Last time I felt a little bit of fatigue was chest day. So that being said,